Hello everyone, good morning, welcome back to the Hearthstone ladder. My name is Rooster and we are playing an age-old favorite. Well, probably not an age-old favorite, but Secret Paladin is supposed to do pretty well on the current ladder. That is not entirely confirmed yet, but matchups against warriors, hunters, and shamans are supposed to be pretty good, and that is a big share of whatever we're facing on the ladder today. So. Might be worth a shot, even if you're not familiar with the deck yet. I don't think this is a bad call. We'll just have to see how good it is. So far, I've taken the deck for a bit of a test spin, and it hasn't seemed too particularly impressive. But I think I'm going to blame the matchups for that. I don't hate developing the Noble Sacrifice here, because it'll eat a Fiery War Axe charge, and the Bylefin will also do that, and then we'll see what we do after that. Sure.
Well met.
So, yeah, I've mostly faced, first of all, first thing was, no, not Nazaf, well, a one variant of Control Priest with double Pyromancer, double Excavated Evil, so that turned out to be pretty bad. That didn't really work. Next thing, ooh, that's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty, but well, at least we still killed the fairy dragon, and he's basically trading his ghoul for just 2 minions on the table, and that's actually not awful. I think I want an Abusive Sergeant next turn, so I'm really considering coining out a Recruit. That seems horrible, right? But we don't have a lot of good options otherwise. I don't know, we could just leave it with the Bylefin, but do we have a turn 4, turn 5? We do have a turn 4, turn 5. Not really, because if we want to Abusive next turn... Okay, so the choices we made will just Abusive right now, because it'll do basically the same, except in the case where he has the second ghoul, which I don't expect. Chances of him having the second ghoul are rather slim, so I'll take that loss if if he happens to have it. Definitely not a given, and he may regret running it out this early. Alright, that's not unreasonable, and is actually pretty decent for him, although I will be able to trade one of these in. That's actually not amazing for me. But I could just Kings and take the trade. That is not horrible. He will probably be able to deal with it, but if he runs both into the thing, then that's actually fine with me, I guess. It's definitely not amazing, but I'll take whatever I can get. Make sure to take out the 3. I'll take 1 extra damage, but that does mean that for example, Blood to Ichor does not instantly kill it. If he Blood to Ichor's a 1 health minion, that's actually probably fine, but now he does have to waste a slam, and that does feel better. So we could go for the Mysterious Challenger here, and with the second Mysterious Challenger drawn, that is exactly what we're gonna do, because we don't have any other decent options. So that's fine. And the Noble Sacrifice will have a decent trade against the Cochrane Elite, so that's good. Might not be a thing that happens, but sure, we'll see. This deck is supposed to be rather good against Dragon Warrior, exactly. So, feeling pretty confident here, I think. That is still not great. He's going to attempt a trade, but did you really think that was going to work? I guess secret Paladin decks aren't all that common in the current environment, so I don't blame him, but but yeah, this does turn out to be pretty good for us. So hooray for that. I think I'll trade the 3-2 into the 4-1 though. And then we'll see, I think the 7 is just going to have to go face. Then we play the second challenger. So this always goes face, right? Yeah. I don't think there's ever a scenario in which that doesn't happen. I will trade this one in. And then we could go for the Argent Squire plus Uldaman. I would actually like to save the Uldaman for something big. So I guess I'll just go for a second 6-6. Sure. He might have an execute, but then he still needs to deal with the second 6-6, so that's fine. And let's see how good this matchup really is, because I don't know. I wouldn't hazard a guess. He hasn't used an execute yet, but if he's really that hesitant, I don't think he has one. So that's pretty cool. Actually, he would have executed last turn, wouldn't he? Well, perhaps he didn't have the mana, but that's possible. So trading both in, or playing the second ghoul. Okay, I'm still reasonably happy with that, actually. Because that does mean that he's not... he doesn't have a ghoul when we start flooding the board, so that's pretty good. Are we trading? I think we're just going face, because he's likely to have to trade himself, right? I'm actually pretty confident about that, so... buffing up the Argent Squire here, because we do have the second keeper now. I think we can safely just go face, because his best trade is going to be the 3-3 and the 2-1 into the 6-5, unless he top decks and execute. In which case, good for him, but his trades are still not spectacular, so I'm okay with that.
For the life binder.
So he still has a dragon in hand, but doesn't have too many exciting cards, it seems. Okay, makes that trade, and then kills the 1-1, I presume. We can still exchange the... well, now the War Axe does nothing. I don't necessarily agree. But we'll see how this works. Do I want to... Not really. I will go for the Abusive Sergeant, though. Do I? Yeah, the ghoul has already been played, so I shouldn't be too scared of anything of the like happening. So this seems fine. He'll be hard-pressed to deal with this, even if he has... Deathwing is just too late. Dragon Warriors have been using Deathwing more as of late, but this is not going to save him. Actually, we do have 6. Yeah, we just kill him. Alright. He could have armored up there, and he wasn't necessarily dead, I think. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, Dragon Warrior is supposed to be a really good matchup for this deck, so... reasonably happy to see that work out as intended. I was on about my test runs, right? So one of them was against a control priest who drew both of his Pyromancers and 2 Excavated Evils in his first 12 cards or something. So I do feel the matchup is kind of bad, but I was winning up until the third board wipe, I think. And after that it got kind of ugly. Then basically the same thing happened with an OTK warrior. Of course he did draw a lot more cards, so it's not all that unlikely. What are we up against? We're up against the Hunter. Do I want to keep a Mysterious Challenger though? We are playing Secret Paladin, so I think I should be keeping this. Should I be keeping this against the Hunter though? I don't know. We do have a 1-drop, so that's something. Perhaps if I didn't have either a 1 or a 2, then I would have thrown it away, I think. But as long as you have something to do on turn 1 and 2, then I think it's actually fine.
Well met. It's getting hot in here.
So Flame Juggler is of course pretty bad here, and that is unfortunate, but we can still dig ourselves out of this, I think. We've got some early game, so Hunter is also supposed to be pretty good. We'll see about this, because this start is pretty rough for us, I will admit. That is a decent trade though, and especially with the weapon coming up, we can, well, but we're not immediately regaining board control, especially since we don't really have anything to do for next turn. But
For justice.
it's not terrible, at least. I would like to top deck something useful for next turn, so what am I looking for? Something like, something like a 2-drop would actually be nice. That is not exactly what we're looking for. I think I'll just... do I just pass though? That seems really bad. I'll kill the Toad. And then do I want to play the Steward? I don't think I want to play the Steward. Let's just go for Redemption and Hero Power. It's probably fine. You're not too happy whenever this happens, but I can't just throw the Darkshire Steward out there without getting any value out of it whatsoever. I don't think that's a way to win a game. So he's testing for the secret. That is actually not all that terrible for him. But so if we had Consecrate, then that would have been pretty good for us. But alas, we don't. We are able to trade into the Fiery Bat right now, which we probably should take. Then the Wolf trades into the Steward, though. That's actually not that great. I think... Oh, I actually could keep her here, and then Competitive Spirit, and then we'll see what happens. I don't know about that. If we keep her here... we want to be able to drop the Mysterious Challenger next turn, so... I don't think the Steward is actually that useful. So I think I'll go for this, even though it seems a little risky. And I will throw out... Oh my gosh. Is the competitive even worth it right now? I guess it could. It's not really, but... It'll just give him more information. I don't think it's that good right now. But that's some really bad luck. That is some really bad luck, I will admit. Not a great turn 5 for him, so that's a saving grace. And... Ooh, that is not our second Noble Sacrifice, right? I don't think it is. So we'll basically have to go with this right now. And actually Noble Sacrifice is not bad with Steward of Darkshire. So that's pretty good for us. Do we want to... Yeah, I don't mind trading here. He's going to attack with the 1/1s, but that's better than the alternative, right? Yeah. I don't mind him trading one of his 1/1s into the Noble Sacrifice, because that's better than him trading his 3/3 into the Noble Sacrifice, which doesn't even kill it. So it does give him a couple more opportunities. Actually, he would be forced to trade one of his things into the Steward, right? So he can now just pick it off with... Oh, Unleash is rather good here. Let's see. That is rough. That is a rough game. I'll blame it on a false start and a really bad Fiery Bat thing right there. Are we dead next turn? Well, let's not worry too much about that right now. So we're going for this. Are we trading though? I think we may very well have to. This always happens. I think Hero Power always happens. Do we want to Divine Favor? I don't think Divine Favor does anything right now. We need to be worried about board control, and Divine Favor does nothing of that. So let's throw out the secrets. And do we kill... I do think we kill this. It's going to be better than nothing. And he always has the dogs to trade into the Noble Sacrifice, so it's never going to be that great. We basically lost this on the Flame Juggler and the Fiery Bat. I lost 1 in 2 and I lost 1 in 3. And that makes That makes it really hard to recover. At least that's a decent trade, but I think we're just dead next turn, I'm afraid. Let's see. We've got 18 damage here, but the only way for us to survive is to start trading here, which is not good for us. Do we need to commit more to the board? I don't know. I think the only way to survive is to actually Divine Favor and see if we have a way of getting rid of one of the beasts here. Which I'm not sure it's entirely correct, but it could be. I don't know. This could work. This has a slim chance of working. I'm not holding out here, but we could survive for one more turn, and that could give us... well, it couldn't give us lethal, but could slow him down enough for us to draw into an out, right? I don't think we ever survive if we leave a minion if we leave a minion out on the field, because that means we're dead to a lot of situations. Any minion out on the field means that we're dead to Call the Wild, which I'm really pegging him on having right now. And alternatively, we would be dead to something like Houndmaster, most likely. To Kill Command, definitely. More likely to be dead to Quickshot. So yeah, that True Silver was a really nice get, but we're definitely not out of the woods here. That's a Call the Wild, and he's thinking about trading, but does not. Okay, so what can we have here? What can we get? Pretty much nothing, right? So we have to trade. Well, Tyrion's a good top deck at the very least. So that means we're trading this. That means we're attacking face. And we're hoping he does not have a way to deal with that. That is the only way we're winning, right? I think that's the only way we can possibly win, so we have to go for that one. We could trade the 7-1 in, but then we can't kill him next turn, so I think this has to be the way. If he has no direct damage, then we can win. It's not a good chance, but it's a chance and we'll take it. Yeah, there is a chance that he can't deal with the Tyrion here, and then in that case we have a lot of damage on the field. We happen to have a lot of damage here. Does that kill us? That does kill us. Okay, well, he drew both Call of the Wilds and had a lot of luck here. Yeah. you can't win a game like that. If a hunter gets good RNG in the early game and draws both of his Call of the Wilds, then you've basically already lost. That's yeah, that's just a truth that you have to face. This deck is supposed to be good against hunters, and I can see how it's supposed to be good. If a hunter does not have 4 minions in his first 3 cards, then you have a reasonable chance to grab the board against the hunter, and in that case all of his minions suddenly start to look a lot worse. So I can see how you have a decent matchup against hunter at the very least. Against a warlock, do I want to keep? I do think I want to keep the Argent Horse Rider because it allows me some initiative and gives me a way to deal with any minions he's throwing out. So that's kind of important. Are we going for Abusive Sergeant here? I think we are. Because that seems to be a little better than coining the Tidehunter, right? Yes.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
Yes, let's go for this.
Well met.
He could have a Voidwalker, but in that case we could Rallying Blade. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's a thing that happens sometimes. So I think it's still going to be Rallying Blade, right? If that did not hit, then we would be in a pretty good position, but unfortunately that is not always the case. And now we're facing a lot of damage from just the Flame Imp, unfortunately. Let's see what comes out here, though. Because we haven't necessarily lost yet, but that, again, is a really unfortunate start. Not much we can do about it, though. We could go for the Ardent Horse Rider, which is kind of decent. I'm not sure. Actually, the Zoo matchup might not be all that great, I presume, right now. Both Untitled Hunter could work. He possibly cannot deal with the Selfless Hero in conjunction with that, so that could turn out to be pretty good. I don't hate it. Getting a lot of minions out against the Warlock might be the way to go here, and I think we kill the Flame Imp, so he has to make some trades, and then we can king something to get rid of the Imp Gang boss next turn. That seems reasonable. Okay. Means he does get two imps out of that. It's actually not brilliant. And yeah, you can improve the Zoo matchup by adding 1 or 2 Consecrates in the deck, which this deck list does not include. I don't think we can deal with this right now. So do we just start going face in that case? I don't hate it. I can just trade this in and then make a really big dude. That doesn't seem like a great idea. But we have to do something. The Charger doesn't really do a whole lot. I think we just do it this way. And I can trade, but I can also just force him to trade, right? That doesn't really make a difference. So I think we just go face in this case, and yeah, but we can trade here. All of his minions are basically worth the same. So he gets to make a decent trade with the Power Overwhelming into our minion, or with a Direwolf. Actually, maybe I should have taken out the Imp Gang boss, but he would have had the same amount of minions, so a Direwolf would still allow him to make some very good trades. He still has to trade 3 minions into our stuff, so... actually, the Imp Gang boss can now take out the Selfless Hero. I think this deck list just sacrifices the Zoo matchup in favor of... Oh, please don't.
Well played.
Yeah, I don't think this game is winnable anymore. so let's just go on and go for the next one. It's probably not a good matchup in the first place, so I'm not too salty about losing this one, but yeah, if they have the RNG on their side, as well as the matchup, then there's not much you can do. Once Zoo grabs the board, they won't easily let go, and this deck does not have a way to grab the board back, except for a Mysterious Challenger, which we didn't have yet. And which wouldn't really do a whole lot against a board full of 1/1s in the first place. So, yeah, I don't like conceding that early, but that game was never going to be winnable for us. Rogue I've had some decent success against, despite Fan of Knives being a rather good card against this deck. I've faced 2 Rogues in my testing sessions, and it hasn't been too bad, surprisingly. So let's see what she has over here. Might just coin... Oh wait, the coin is in my hand, so I'm expecting a hero power and just clearing the shield. But there is a situation in which the shield survives, in which case we could consider going Rallying Blade next turn. I'm not sure whether that's the correct call, but it's a possibility, and we should consider it. Basically against a rogue that's never going to happen though, so I don't feel too horrible about this. Do we go double Selfless Hero here? That seems really weak against Fan of Knives, which could be coming up next turn. So I don't think that's a winning strategy. We could just hero power, I suppose. Yeah, I can just throw away 2 Selfless Heroes right here, and coin Rallying Blade doesn't really do anything. So I think we'll just hero power and take it a little slow here. We could just pretend we're some kind of mid-range Paladin that's running Argent Squires. Which is not all that unfamiliar, I think. It doesn't lure out the Fan of Knives either, though, so that's kind of a problem. But if she just keeps daggering, then I think I'm okay with that. I am keeping the pace here, so that's kind of good. I don't hate hero powering plus Selfless Hero, then I'm only throwing 1 in the mix, and if she wants the Fan of Knives that, then I think I'm okay with it. I could go Steward of Darkshire, but it pretty much will die next turn, and I'm not really getting that much value out of it, aside from coining a Selfless Hero. So I would get a Selfless Hero with a Divine Shield, and then a Darkshire. That would be rather hard to clear, but I'm not the biggest fan right now. I think we'll just go for this. If this lures out the first Fan of Knives, then I'm entirely okay with it. Because that does eat the majority of her turn right now. Also means she probably can't Tomb Pillager, so that's pretty good. Is that that has to be a... wait, huh? In what world is she not clearing this? I don't understand. That has to be a mistake, right? I don't know what's going on here. But let's capitalize. Is she hoping to just Fan of Knives next turn or something? I really don't understand that turn. Or does she have a Blood Mage? Oh, well, that is rather good. Okay, the Dark Iron Skulker... that is a card. That is a real card. I can't be too mad about that, though. I do still have the True Silver for next turn.
I will be your death.
So that was a pretty good answer, preemptive answer to the Dark Iron Skulker. So I kind of like that. So we could go Rallying Blade. I really want to make use of my weapon charges here. So I think we'll just go second Selfless Hero. That's going to be pretty decent, I think. We could coin a Hero Power. I would like to just preserve the coin for any turn in which I at least Hero Power. For the Steward of Darkshire turn, of course. So that could be pretty decent at some later point. I'm really scared of the Preparation Conceal here, which we cannot really do a whole lot against. Well, at least she has to have second Preparation into Conceal, otherwise I can just kill that with the True Silver, which is not horrible. And she used the Fan of Knives to... okay. That is pretty good, I will admit. Did not draw the Conceal, because that's pretty much a given here. So next turn, we don't really have anything we can do with the Steward. Just doing Steward and Hero Power is actually not all that strong. So we might just kill that and Hero Power. Okay, well, that's really greedy, by the way. She might have a lot of damage in hand by now, but that is certainly not a great situation she finds herself in. So I think I will just Steward. I think I'll Redemption too, because that's not bad with the Steward. She might even give herself a Divine Shield if I understand the card correctly.
Back to your homes.
So that is not the worst turn. I would like to make use of my weapon charges. That's the only counter here. But the alternative would be to have no minions on the field, which I don't think is particularly great. So either she kills the 1/1 first to check for redemption. I don't see that happening. If the last rogue is any indication, then she's reasonably likely to want to kill the Steward in one shot. And then the redemption... does that happen? No, it's another minion. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Huh. I thought that had a chance of actually triggering, I think. It's returned to life and it's not... okay. I can see where it's going. That's a good draw. I don't mind that at all. Let's see, we could Rallying Blade it down. Rallying Blade is pretty good. It makes that into a 2/2, which I think I like. Would still leave me with the coin, but that's okay.
None may
The alternative would be to King's Stats, which is also rather good. But doesn't make any use of the weapon right now, and I think weapon economy is going to be more important, so sure. And I think we can just go face here, because the most important spells have already been cast. Although I might just die to double eviscerate something. Yeah, let's just get rid of that so I don't die to cold blood, something terrible like that. I'm down to 20, so I could definitely die to a cold blood, to an unfortunate cold blood incident. Let's call it that. So expecting a cold blood into conceal, which could be my death next turn. Not necessarily, but it could definitely be. Not much I can do about that though, so let's just pretend that I'm not dead next turn and see what we can do from this position. We have got 5 and 3, that's 8 damage on the field. We have no way of increasing that, so we will just do everything we can. And that is the best we can do. Which one do we kings? Does it really matter? If something gets sapped, I would like it to be a recruit, I guess. This is the best we can do, so we might as well do it. I'm thinking we're probably dead here, but at least we did put up a nice fight, and if the auctioneer came down one turn later, then she would have likely been in trouble. Or if I had a mysterious challenger here. There would be a way to trigger the noble sacrifice, so it would have to be exactly Tyrion, I guess. She will have an eviscerate, and well, eviscerate doesn't kill me yet. So it would have to be eviscerate and 1 more damage from something. Is she trying to draw into it? Backstab. Yeah, you don't want to backstab the egg. She might just be 1 damage short, or she's just BMing me, and that's also possible. So she would need double eviscerate here. Is that another? Oh, that's a sap, alright. So she needs... She doesn't have the mana to kill me anymore, does she?
The light protects.
Because eviscerate costs 2. Do we got her? We've got her. Okay.
Not in my house.
Nice. I did not expect to win that one, but she did need a lot of damage that turn. I don't recall her using any eviscerates earlier, so that's why I was really scared at that point. But she did need basically double eviscerate exactly, and that's rough sometimes. Can be rough when those are at the bottom of your deck. We're having really quick queue times. I was a little worried because during my test run we've had quite a bit of latency, but as of now, knock on wood, I'm pretty happy with how this is going. Dragon Egg is pretty good against Warrior, so I think I'll keep that, as well as the Argent Squire, why not? And Noble Sacrifice is not terrible either. It just eats a Fiery War Axe charge, which is excellent. If the Warrior is on the coin, he's likely to keep Blood to Ichor. Which is pretty good against Argent Squire, so I think I'm keeping the Argent Squire for now. He's allowed to Blood to Ichor this. I would definitely not mind. So the Dragon Egg might look like a really odd inclusion, and I will admit I was surprised at first, but it has turned out to be rather nice so far. It is not exactly an Nerubian egg, but what is, and yeah, it has been surprisingly good. Because many ways in which your opponents are going to deal with your board of small stuff is going to be damage based, like a Pyromancer. And if it's just a Pyromancer with 1 tick, then the Dragon Egg will survive, and after that... Let me think about this. Do we just... No, Hero Power is terrible. If we Noble Sacrifice and Argent Squire, he could coin out... Yeah, he doesn't want to ghoul against this. So that is probably fine. It's not that great against the Finley, but it's something, and I'll take something. Sure, it's we don't want a hero power here. We could draw into something useful for next turn. So the conservative approach would be to hero power there, and then save a hero power plus one of the one-cost minions for next turn, and that could definitely be okay. But in this case, yeah, that's still not terrible. What else have you got? Coin into Fiery War Axe, I guess? Oh, coin into hero power, of course. That is a little unfortunate. Would I have been better off with the hero power? I don't think so. The Dragon Axe is looking a little unimpressive, I will admit. And getting a Divine Shield on that is not too impressive, but that's actually not a bad top deck, because it does allow us the hero power and get that out. I'm expecting to have something to True Silver Champion next turn, so that's okay. All is not lost, and we are definitely favored in theory against Dragon Warriors, which I'm expecting this to be. It could also just be generic Tempo Warrior, perhaps even Combo Warrior. That could be a thing. Combo Warrior is pretty terrible. We are we are definitely not favored against Tempo Warrior because Wild Pyromancer plus what's it called? Wild Pyromancer plus Commanding Shout is really terrible against this deck. So we have a Dragon Egg plus a Divine Shield, which is actually not that useful unless we can get something of value out of that. We might just Hero Power plus Noble Sacrifice here, don't we? We actually don't want a Noble Sacrifice. If he... yeah, we're going to take this really slow. I don't know what our opponent's up to, but if he's Combo Warrior, he's not really drawing a lot of cards, so that's okay. And as long as he has an axe, then his Hero Power isn't really doing anything, as long as we don't play a minion with exactly 4 health. So that's fine. And I'm not willing to throw the Noble Sacrifice against a 1-1 Finley. So that is decently enough. I can True Silver Champion that one down, which is fine. I'm not using Selfless Hero here. So this is reasonable. And that means we can nobles... do we want a Noble Sacrifice here? I kind of want to, but I kind of don't. We can squeeze some more value out of that later, and I'm not incredibly worried about the 2-1 right now. Oh, actually, there is some value in not playing the second Noble Sacrifice before the Mysterious Challenger, because you will have to play around that. And not having a Noble Sacrifice up with your Mysterious Challenger does have some advantages, because that likely means that's the... ooh, that is sturdy. Okay, okay. I was a little worried there. We're taking some damage, but that's probably okay. So we're killing one of these, and then we're playing Challenger. So that means we get the other 3 secrets. He'll have to play around Noble Sacrifice here. But if that does not trigger, then he can either kill the egg, which is really bad for him, or we get a 6-1 Mysterious Challenger, which is not terrible. It might not give us any benefit from the egg, though. Is he just going face here? Or... I don't know what's going on here. Oh, is he... what is happening here? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, he's executing that. So we get a 6-1 here, and then he's prepared to trade both of his minions in. I guess he would be. I guess he would be prepared to do that. So we don't have that. We do have an egg, which can trade into that thing, which is pretty good. And then we can Noble Sacrifice here, which is not all that great, but I guess I'll take it. We don't get a 2-1 here, which is a little annoying. I think we just flood and then play Tyrion next turn, right? That is pretty much the best thing to do, and hope he doesn't have a ghoul, I guess. Do we want to keep one of them around? Actually, if he ghouls, then the egg dies and makes it 2-1, which is not all that bad. We don't get to attack again with this, though. Do I really want to commit that? I guess I kind of want to.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Because it forces more damage next turn, and he is actually a pretty aggressive deck. So that is kind of okay. That means he doesn't have a ghoul, which is good for us. That attacks into the Noble Sacrifice, which gives us a decent trade for next turn. So that's good. All right. So we get some decent trades here, which I am a big fan of. Can we trade into everything? No, we'll have to leave the Azure Drake alive, but that's not terrible against the Tyrion. So pretty happy with that situation. And it also means, do we want to get a Divine Shield here? I don't think I want a Divine Shield here, so let's just trade this one, go face with the others.
Is that it?
If only because he has to play around it for the coming few turns. So, yeah, that's okay. I could have gotten a Divine Shield on one of the other guys, but if he ghouls here, then I still get a 2-1 and a Divine Shield on either Tyrion again, or on the 2-1, so that's not bad. If I don't get a Keeper here, then things might be a little sour. Oh, I can just trade the Divine Shield for the Ragnaros, that's actually excellent. And we can even get a Divine Shield on something, which is pretty good. Alright, I'll take that trade. I think we can play for the long game here. That is not the target we would like that to be on, but I don't feel too horrible about this. He's not going to run Brawl, so I think we can safely just go face here. Don't have any other secrets, but that's fine.
Thank you.
So, what do you got? Is it going to be something terrible? Oh, the ghoul's finally coming out. Alright. Little pissed about not getting the thingamajig here. Not getting the Divine Shield on a 2-1, but I guess it's kind of okay right now. Is he just taking that for free? Was that necessary? Oh yes, it was necessary, yes. Alright, so... Have we just got him here? No, we have 11, 12 damage, so that's not enough, but we can get a lot of Divine Shields here.
Reporting for duty.
So that is perfectly fine with me. Do we want to trade for his minions? Not really. I would... Yeah, actually, I think I will.
For justice.
I think I actually will. Because we have plenty of time to kill him. As long as he doesn't get an execute. Even if he does get an execute, that's pretty good.
Well met.
Well, pretty good is... Forget I said anything, you know, but that does mean that he's still in a pretty rough situation. Ooh, that could actually kill us next turn. Can we kill him next turn? Yes, we can. Okay. Excellent. So the deck does what it's supposed to do, surprisingly. A little miffed about that Hunter game still, but yeah, otherwise I think we did illustrate how the deck is supposed to counter the meta. And if you find yourself queuing against a lot of warriors in particular, Dragon Warrior's still really popular right now, give the deck a try. It is actually not all that expensive, all things considered, because many of you will probably have the remnants of a secret Paladin deck somewhere. I know you do. I am in your collection manager and I'm watching you. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. If there are any suggestions on what deck you would like to see me play next, please leave a comment below. And as always, have a great day everyone, and I will see you tomorrow.